How to be direct with a woman if you're a rich man. First of all, I want to define what it means to be direct. This is my definition: to communicate your thoughts and intentions with clarity. Now, the reason I'm doing this video is because I see many successful guys being indirect when they're interacting and dating women. And this might be ruining your chances when it comes to finding your ideal girlfriend and starting a healthy relationship with her. Now, first of all, I'm going to cover the why being direct is key, especially if you're a successful guy. And even though you have clicked on this video, you probably just want to be direct already and want to know how. I think it's still important to remember the huge benefits that this gives you. First of all, is that it gives you confidence and freedom. Because whenever you're speaking your mind, whenever you're communicating your thoughts and intentions with clarity, you feel honest. You feel true to yourself. And you see that if the woman stays, she stays because she likes you. So that gives you a bit of a confident boost. Now, in practice, what this means is that let's say you find a woman that you go on a date with or that you approach attractive. Now, what the seduction world would say mostly is that you have to not give a compliment because you're going to raise her ego and it's going to go wrong. She's going to be entitled. But what I say through many, many, many years of experiences and also working with multiple guys is that it just helps you feel much more confident because you're being upfront. You're just showing your cards and saying, hey, this is the person I am, and these are my intentions with you. And if the woman decides to stay in that interaction or stay in that date, it means that, okay, she agrees with the premise that you just set. Number two is that you're filtering. So, as I was saying, the woman knows what you're up to and she can decide whether to stay or not. When you're being indirect, you're not showing your cards. You don't even know if the woman that is sitting in front of you accepts you or not, if she likes you or not, because you're putting a bit of a facade. And then if the woman stays with you, she likes that facade. She doesn't like you. And this is one of the keys as well for a man who is successful and doesn't want to waste his time dating hundreds of women before finding his ideal girlfriend. You want to filter quick and you want to filter a lot so that you can get to that woman who is a good fit for you quickly. Those are the two main reasons. There's many more, but again, this video is more so how to be direct, but than why to be direct. We'll cover many more of these in another video. But let's go to the how. So the easiest way and the fastest way to start being more direct whenever you're interacting and whenever you're dating a woman is by starting to give compliments. And these are genuine compliments. So I don't want you to pander the girl with a lot of empty words. But let's say you're sitting in a date and you're in front of a woman that has very beautiful eyes or smile, or she's has an amazing style. You can just say that without any filter between what you think and what you say. And it's going to sound genuine because it's actually genuine. And as I was saying in the first point, you're gonna feel better because you're being upfront, you're being transparent. It's gonna give you confidence. She's probably gonna react well to that, and the date is just gonna go much better. So again, compliments. It's a very quick way to start feeling more of that direct energy. Number two is leading with clarity. So this is throughout the whole process of meeting that woman. Whenever you go for her contact, let's say you approach her on the street or you meet her at an event or any other situation or context, and you would like to go on a date with her, you just can close the number with that premise. So you're not just saying, "Oh, maybe we'll be friends and catch up," and "Oh no, look, give me your Instagram and I will send you the link of this thing I was talking about." No, I like if you actually want to see her again, you can just tell her that, "Hey, I would like to see you again. Let's exchange contact and we can talk there. Instead of saying some weird thing as an excuse to not show your cards or your intention to actually want to go forward with the relationship. The same whenever you're speaking on the text. So I see many guys doing these like huge, insanely long conversations before communicating what they actually want to do, which is see the woman again. So instead of having like these huge conversations before asking for the date, before asking to meet again, you can just like send 2 or 3 messages and then ask for the date. Again, this is like being direct, and this may sound very simple, but I know that for me in the past, I thought that I had to do some kind of magic and hide my intentions because it wasn't completely right to show my desire for the woman that I had in front of me. And again, this is nonsense because the girl doesn't even appreciate indirect energy. It's not masculine. Masculine energy is direct and goes for what it wants. Of course, being respectful. But if you're always beating around the bush and going through these thousands of hoops, it's going to be very weird for you, for the woman. It's not going to be smooth, and it's going to be something very unpleasant. So again, the same when you ask for the date, and the same also whenever you're on a date and you want to move things forward and you want to invite her to your house. You don't have to have some excuse. I remember that back in the days when I was like very deep into, let's say, the seduction tricks and tips, I always had to have some like excuse. I even had a friend that was also in my same journey, let's say, of seduction and pickup. And this guy bought a fish so that he could tell the girls, hey, I have a fish at my home. Would you like to see it? As an excuse to invite her over. And like this, like the level of absurdity that some people can go to. And maybe you don't go to those extremes, but I'm sure that if you click on this video, you know that you can be more direct with women and that this is going to benefit you. So again, if you want to invite her over, just tell her, hey, would you like to come up for a drink? That's it. Nothing more. And this doesn't have to be some like weird alpha move. Like being direct is not like some weird alpha thing that you have to do where you're like, oh, doing something weird. No, it's just being clear. And as I was saying, to communicate your thoughts and intentions with clarity. You want to invite her over, you ask her, hey, would you like to come over? And it's totally fine. You can show your cards. Yes, I like you. Yes, I find you attractive. And yes, I would also like to see if we're a good fit with personality. That's also a thing that is in your mind. You don't have to say everything, like every single word, but you have these frames in your mind clear and you can communicate it at any point. So again, number 1 was compliment. Number 2, leading with clarity. Number 3 is nonverbals. So this is your voice, your eye contact, your proximity, and your physical contact as well. So the other things that I mentioned were easier to implement because they're things you can say. And it's great to start at that point. But I'll tell you something which can go even a bit deeper, which is the energy that you have. Whenever you're interacting with a woman that you want, that you like, sometimes the words aren't even necessary or they're just like an added bonus because the real communication that is going on is the sub-communication, is the nonverbal, is the way that you look at that woman whenever you're in that date, whenever you approach her, is the way that you speak when you're talking to her, is the way that you're a bit close or a bit farther apart in certain moments, is the way that you may create an environment where physical contact can naturally happen. So your non-verbals, and we might cover this in another video, is another way of being direct. I'll give you a very simple tip and way to apply this. So let's go with visual contact. So if you want to be really direct, you look at her straight up. If you want to have a bit of more of a indirect energy, you're going to look more to the side. So these are basic things, but they're going to convey a certain energy or another energy. And I would even go as far as to say that what you're thinking while you are looking at the woman that you have in front of you, is going to determine also the energy that you have. So if you're really thinking, oh yeah, I really like this woman, I really enjoy being with her, and you've been honest so far with your intentions, and you've been direct so far, the way that you're going to look at her, it's going to give off that direct energy. If you've been beating around the bush and trying to do these tricks and putting this facade, even if you try to look at her the same way, what I just said, like straight on instead of looking to the side, there's still going to be that hesitant, indirect energy. And she's going to feel that. So again, it all comes down to what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and what you think is right. If you think it's not right to be direct with a woman, then it's going to be very hard to have that direct energy. Number 4, and this is again more practical, is conveying your identity. So whenever you're in a date, whenever you're even in an initial interaction with a woman, oversharing about yourself, talking about things that are going on in your life and about your personality is a way of being direct. And it's even a way of filtering. So let's go back and polarize a bit and contrast with the, let's say, seduction world that says that you should be indirect. So they would say, don't share too much about yourself, leave an air of mystery, let the woman figure it out. And that's all cool and James Bond sounding. But in reality, whenever you share about yourself, you're conveying your identity, you give off an incredible confident energy because you're not so worried about what the woman is going to think. You're just sharing value. You're giving value. Hey, this is who I am. So you talk about the things that are important to you. Maybe you really like to play tennis and you share that passion for tennis with the woman without thinking whether she's going to think it's cool or not. Or the same with any other hobbies that you might have. And I'll give you an example of a client that came to me when he went through a divorce and he had a child. And at the start of the coaching together, he told me, look, Armin, one of the big things that I have is that whenever I'm on a date, I always try to hide the fact that I'm a father because it might scare the woman that I'm with. She might think, oh my God, this guy already has a kid. What am I doing with him in a date? And I told him, okay, we're going to work on this. Look, next date that you meet also through cold approach, you're going to tell her that you're a father in the first 5 to 10 minutes. And you're going to see how you feel. And you're going to see how the woman feels. So he goes ahead with the exercise. This was a guy who just implemented the advices that I was given. And he told me that reaction just completely surprised him because the woman felt even more interested, started asking questions about his child, wanted to see pictures, thought it was super cool, thought it was amazingly mature that he already had a child. And this is the crazy part with being direct versus indirect. The things that you may think are going to be a negative aspect might be the exact reason why the woman that you have in front of you is going to choose to be with you. So you're hiding something because you want to be mysterious or because you think that it's going to affect negatively the interaction. And by hiding those qualities or information about yourself, as I was saying, you're ruining your chances to find your ideal girlfriend. Because that ideal girlfriend is going to be excited to hear about yourself because she's a good fit for you. So this is super powerful. And I'll give an example of myself. We're actually talking about this with my girl today. She told me that one of the things that surprised her and really caught her attention was that in the first date that we had, in the first 10 minutes, I started sharing about the fact that I am a bit of a health nut. So I have an Excel sheet tracking every aspect of my health every day. And I do not drink alcohol for many years already. I do not take caffeine. I have a very, well, not very strict, but very controlled and disciplined diet. And it's one of the things that she says really caught her attention and made her pay attention to me. And of course, there's many other things, but this is just an example of when conveying your identity might be exactly what you're looking for to find that ideal girlfriend. Because that helps you filter, like the women that do not connect with that energy and those qualities filter themselves out, and the women that do connect filter themselves in. And also, how do you think you're gonna feel whenever you're sharing about yourself freely? Well, by definition, you're gonna feel free. You're gonna feel confident because you're just talking without the worry of what she's gonna think. So number 4, conveying your identity. And I'll give you a final mindset which helps encapsulate the power of the direct energy. And it is that you're a trained emotion as a man, and you invite the woman to come along on the adventure. You have your life, you have your goals, you have your intentions, you have what you the place where you want to go, and you are very clear with what that place is. And you meet a woman and you just communicate that place and that direction very clearly and invite her to come along on the journey. If she's the right woman, and if you also have certain beliefs and mindsets and practices, she's going to come along and you're going to have an amazing journey and adventure together. So that's the key, and that's the importance of being direct. And what it gives to the woman is what she thinks is, okay, he knows what he wants and he goes for it. That is the summary of being direct as a man and what it communicates to the woman that you're with. So just to sum up and give a quick summary, this is what it means to communicate your thoughts and intentions with clarity. Why we do it? We do it because it gives you confidence and freedom, and because it helps you filter the women to find your ideal girlfriend. And how? Start with compliments. This is the easiest way. And these have to be genuine compliments. So if you really find her super attractive in that moment, think why and communicate it to her. Maybe her skin is amazing and you just communicate that. Maybe her hair is like very long and natural and you really want to give a compliment about that, or her style, or her eyes, or her smile, or anything. Then you lead with clarity. You go for the date by asking for the date. You invite her to your home by asking her to come to your home. That's it. Then the non-verbals, the voice, the eye contact, the proximity, and the physical touch, and conveying your identity. So I hope this helps you have some guideline to start being more direct with a woman that you enjoy being with. And as I was saying, this is a key, especially for successful guys, because you know what you want. You want to filter. You don't want to beat around the bush. You don't want to be being indirect and going on a date with 10 different women and the woman doesn't even know who you are. So you miss opportunities with the women that you want, and you may even attract women that you do not want. So if you're somebody that wants to find his ideal girlfriend and you're a guy who's in the 7 to 8 figure range as an entrepreneur or business owner, then you can send me a message and you'll have somewhere to do that in the description in this video, and we can talk to make that a reality. That's it for this video, and I'll see you on the next one.